Hello. I hope you guys are doing well on today. This is a ASMR Ramble chant once again, and today we're going to be talking about something serious. I know there's a smile on my face and all that, but we're really going to be talking about something serious and important. And I don't, I'm kind of purposely smiling because I don't want people to kind of tune away and think like we're going to be in depressive state or anything like that. No. We're trying to jump up out of those things is really what we're doing. We're trying to get some freedom, get some help to get past that loneliness, the depression, the anxiety, and all those things that hold us back from living the fullest life possible. Mental health has always been a struggle since man's been on this earth. And our emotions, we have emotions, and sometimes it's hard to rein them in. Sometimes it's hard to regulate them. Sometimes they kind of go out on their own and do those things, and sometimes we can't even understand them. Why do I think the way I think? Why do I feel the way I feel right now? And so I want to talk about that a little bit. First of all, when we're dealing with mental health, the important thing to definitely be able to share and to say is that mental health or it doesn't mean you're crazy. There are a lot of people go, oh, I'm struggling, or even, I'm thinking crazy thoughts or wrong thoughts, and we'll throw that word out there. See how I just did it just naturally. We'll just throw that word out there, and we think because we're going through something emotional, something like that, there's just that label that put on. You're insane, you're crazy, you're going off the deep end, wild side, whatever it is you want to put out there. But the important thing for us to recognize is that everybody goes through challenges with their mental health. Everyone. Now, some people have it a little more, severe, and others are able to kind of bounce back a little quicker, and some it takes a little more time, and some they're on constant, going through those ebbs and flows and ups and downs and things of that nature. So we want to make sure that one thing about we kind of destigmatize the labels and the ideas around mental health, and I really think over the years we've actually done a pretty good job with that. I remember, earlier in my life, it wasn't really a lot talked about a lot, and there is a lot more information, about mental health. There is a lot of resources online, and especially us coming out of this COVID, all of us know how important mental health is. Let me just share with you something. I was struggling with mental health during COVID, and I'm sure that's nothing that anyone else hasn't had to deal with also. But it was challenging, and if anything, it taught us that we have to sometimes. How do I put this? Well, I'm just gonna leave that alone. What I'm just gonna say is because I just kind of flew away from me right now, and I'm not that word. All right. But destigmatizing it and saying, look, it's okay sometimes to not be okay. All right, it's part of life. Now the problem is when I can't shake it. When it's been going on for a while, so some days I'm mad and upset and angry, and sometimes it carries over a day or two, even. Two's a little pushing it to me, but when you start seeing a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it may be time to talk to somebody. And there are so many resources out there now, and so please, if you're feeling overwhelmed, seek help. And that's the key right here. That's really where I want us to get to that part where I'm talking about making sure we're not looking at our mental health and those times where we get stuck in one of those emotions. Depression, fear, anxiety, sadness, grief, loneliness, purposelessness, the feeling of, well, I don't know how to put this into words, but do I even matter in this world? These are things that come to our minds. Is it, okay for me to have these feelings, even sometimes hurting so much that you can't tell anyone? No, 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 no. When it's a secret, it's gonna hurt you. That secret that you're holding on, and how you're feeling and how you're thinking, and all of those type of things, and you don't think anybody else will understand. You don't think anyone else can be able to identify with what you're going through, and so you zip the lip and suffer in silence and think it's just going to go away. It's just going to go away. Just give it a little more time, a little more time, a little more time. Maybe you're even seeing people are saying things, and people are asking you, are you all right? And you're putting the face on for a moment, and then you're right back. Put the face on when you have to go out, and you're right back. Or maybe it's even getting harder to put that face on. People know something's going on. You definitely know something's going on. But yet many still suffer in silence. Rather put on the mask than do the work. And that's where it is. It's work. During COVID, I had to reassess myself. The type of employment that I have, I really deal with a lot of people. And I found that my tolerance for others was starting to wane as a result of my own state. And normally, hey, you guys see me on here, and while you don't know me personally, I think you can see some clues about the kind of man that I am. I love people. I care about people. I like to help people. And so I surround myself. I'm in a field where I help people. That's what I do. But it's hard when you're hurting. When you're hurting, to be the helper for someone else. And for myself, I was suffering in silence. Suffering in silence. Came to a point where my wife said, "Look, you need to talk to somebody. You need to do something." And I wouldn't, and I probably was resistant because of fear and embarrassment and things of that nature. If I go talk to someone, I'm supposed to have it all together. I'm the one people look up to. I'm the one people run to for strength. I'm the person that when someone's in need, they call me. When a family member's in trouble, I get the phone call. When this one is struggling, can you talk to him? I mean, that's the type of dynamic, that's the type of life that I live in. It's just been, I didn't ask for it. It just happened. It just happened that way. Family dynamics, and all of that kind of stuff. And let me rephrase that. It is who I am. I said that earlier. It is part of who I am. However, even a strong man wears down. Matter of fact, I think somebody just said that. I was talking to somebody, but it was a woman. But even the strong, you're gonna wear down at some point. And what happens if you don't have anyone to talk to? What happens if you do have someone to talk to, but you won't talk? I've talked to some people, and finally, there's a few that took my advice and went and got help and all that. And one which had to be put on medication. And the medication helped to aid and regulate emotions and all of that. And had the conversation not happened, had they not been willing to step out there and to talk to someone and to be able to at least take that risk of finding out how can I get help, they wouldn't have been classified. They wouldn't have been, you know. And I know that's a fear also, misclassification and things of that nature. And you may have heard a bad story about this one person or about this other person and all that. But I want to just say this: you're going to continue to struggle for as long as you keep silent, and so it's worth taking the risk of opening up and sharing. If you need to go to a psychologist, if you need to go to a psychiatrist, then then do what you got to do. A counselor, wonderful resource that we had through my wife's job, and there's some telehealth. We have telehealth through her work, through her insurance, and that has been a blessing. Listen, I have a hard time talking to people about me. In the general sense, no. Generally, no. But when it comes to deep me, it's hard to talk to everyone because you don't know who you can trust. You don't know who you can share. So I want you to do yourself a favor. Don't share with everyone, but find a confidant. Find someone that will listen and that cares. Mm-hmm. So here are a couple of strategies. Listen, I should have put this disclaimer earlier. I am not a medical professional. Anything I'm saying is just my own personal opinion, and I'm just throwing it out there for you. And if it helps, if it fits and applies, use it. If it doesn't, hey, this whole video, eat the fish, throw away the bones. All right. But here I want to give you just a few strategies, a few things to kind of help you get past those moments. Whatever you're going through, whatever your crisis is, I mean, these are just some ideas, some thoughts. I don't know if they'll help completely in whatever situation you're in, but it's a start. It's a start. First of all, and this is something we all probably know, but don't do enough of. And that's healthy eating and exercise. What does that have to do with mental health? A whole lot. First of all, probably one of the best things for our bodies is exercise. And we don't mean you have to go to Planet Fitness and spend an hour there or anything like that. But we got to get up. We got to get active. We live such a sedentary lifestyle now that it is becoming very challenging. Very challenging. Weight and things of that nature. I'm going to share with you something at the end that I'm getting ready to do that I'll probably be sharing here also. So eating right and exercise is vital. Well, first of all, you've heard the old phrase, you are what you eat, right? If we're eating a whole bunch of bad food and McDonald's and this all the time, that stuff's going to weigh on us. Those cholesterol and all those things, salt and sodium and all the stuff and the weight. It becomes to weigh us down. We become more sluggish. We're not as sharp thinking wise. And so it's really important for us to start getting back and exercise and eating right. And here's the great thing about exercise. All of these different chemical explosions happen in exercise. A lot of the chemicals that are manufactured try to replicate what the body is already doing. And so if we go out and we exercise each day, have you gone out and taken a good walk and then kind of gauged your sense of well-being and how you're feeling and how you're thinking? More likely than not, after that exercise, after that walk, after that run, after that jog, after that swim, after that game of basketball, game of baseball, after whatever those activities, if we've done them and done them right, don't overstrain yourself or anything like that. But if you've done it right, you're gonna feel better. Well, think about that for a moment. I can intentionally, when I get myself in one of those pits, I can intentionally get on the treadmill, hit a bag, boxing bag, do all these things in order to help the body to start to release all these chemicals. So we get all these beautiful chemicals, endorphins. First of all, endorphins are like painkillers, really. The body sends this out, and they're also mood elevators. So all of a sudden endorphins are going around, and then dopamine. You've heard of dopamine before. That's a definite feel-good chemical. And in dopamine, you've heard people don't take dope. Well, the body creates dopamine. The body creates dope. It's a neurotransmitter. It plays a crucial part in the brain's reward and pleasure system. And so, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, as well as many, many, many others, these chemicals are produced, and they help you to gain well-being, not just at that moment, but it progressively will help if you continue on this path of eating right and also exercise. Something else, one of the things you see that I placed on this channel was guided meditations. It's something that I've been using for years, and that's why I create them, because I found so much help in guided meditations, and so I wanted to share with you guys also. And I hope to do some more in the future, and you actually learn a little bit more on how to make them more effective. But meditation, I think if anything that could help, it's meditation. Stopping, looking inward, reflecting, being still, trying to still this mind that I have. Listen, do you see how many videos I put up in the last 2 years? While having a full-time job, while having a family, while my mind is always firing. I've got to be actively and doing something. I'm always, but that's good and that's bad, because at some point I gotta slow down, and usually when I slow down, it's a crash. Instead, meditation helps you to slow down. And sometimes people, instead of doing some of these other things, they'll take on drugs, alcohol, and all these other things in order to try to mask sometimes, or what they believe is this will give me those feelings, those feel-good feelings, and they actually do, temporarily. And usually, just like I was saying, usually there's a crash. And when it's a crash, even over extended period of time, you're smoking your stuff and you're drinking your stuff, and for the first little bit of while, you feel great until you don't. And then the underlying issue is still there. A new issue, or many new issues, because we could be hurting our bodies inwardly, our organs and all of that, with the stuff we're taking in. All right, so that's an added problem, an added issue. And not only that, these things, alcohol, drugs, these things change our brain chemistry. It changes that reward system, and so you can actually hurt yourself and go in deeper into some things that you should not be getting into, because you've been trying to mask and maybe suffering in silence. It's time to say something. It's time to tell somebody. If there's one person on this video that takes my words seriously, and you go and you find some help, then this whole video is worth it. Let me just look at my notes, make sure I didn't leave anything out. Oh, yes. We live in a lonely society, don't we? And it's challenging today. And so what I want you to do, because of, I think a lot of times loneliness, things of that nature, aid in our mental health crises, one of the things that we need to do is find friends. Find help, get some help, find some friends, get around other people, things of that nature. And and I know that's hard. Maybe you're an introvert. Maybe it just doesn't come natural. Or for whatever reason, it's just a challenge. And I guess I'd say to that, just start small, start small. Put yourself in some environments every now and then. Don't go to the big events or nothing like that, but find yourself, a few people. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there struggling in the same way. You'd be surprised if you just talk to somebody and said, hey, you want to get some lunch? Hey, you want to go to the movies? Hey, someone else is probably sitting there going, man, I wish I had someone to go to the movies. I wish I had someone to go to that concert with. I wish I had someone to do. You gonna keep silent? You gonna stay to yourself? Or is it time to open up a little bit? Take a chance. Take a step out there. You hear that bird? Beautiful. Don't you just love nature? Hey, that's a good idea there. Just take yourself a nature walk sometime. Go out there and connect with God, connect with nature. So find yourself some friends, and then there's so many online resources. I'm gonna put some resources right here in the description field below, if you'd like to be able to find some resources, some things, some places to be able to go. And of course, our comment section is open to you. I will respond as best as I can to as many as I can. If you have questions or comments or anything on there, I try my best to try to do something for everybody. If you put a comment, I try to say something. But I believe this could be a topic that might even challenge me if I believe it's as big as it is, or if this video reaches as far as it could. But nevertheless, I think let's be a tribe right here in the comment section. If someone's there and they're struggling and they're suffering and they're saying something, first let's be gentle with one another. I know this is the internet and you've got trolls and you got this and you got that. Come on, y'all. Let's do better than that, okay? Let's be gentle with people, especially those that are suffering right now through a lot of different things, and let's offer some hope. Isn't that a good word? Yeah, it's a word that we don't really hear enough of. Hope. And I think there is hope. I think there's hope beyond, the darkness and all of that muck and mire and all the stuff that's holding us back and the emotional baggage that we're holding on to. There's hope beyond that. Things can get better. And they will. If you put in just a little bit of work. If you step out there just a little bit. If you start to educate yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I hurting? Going online and doing research, and I do that often. I research myself. I research the things I'm going through. I research, pains and things of that nature. If you want to feel better, I put this. You got to do the work. If it hasn't just gone away by itself, I guess you better figure it. Maybe it's not going to go away by itself. Maybe I got to put in the work. Maybe I got to tell somebody, eat better, exercise, take a daily vitamin. We do not get enough vitamins. Take a good daily vitamin. And then, of course, know yourself and be honest with yourself. Share and talk to others. Look online about ways in which you can learn more about yourself and what you're going through. And then also, take that step out there if you need to. Talk to a doctor. It can get better, but you got to put in the work. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I think I got a little bit more on my notes, but I think that's really the gist of really what I wanted to say. It can be better. It can be better. There is hope. There is hope. But you got to put in the work. So. All right, I know this is a little bit different type of video than I normally do, but I think it's needed, and I hope that it blesses someone. I hope that it challenges someone, and I hope that someone is better because of this video. Now, I told you at the end I was gonna share something that I plan on doing. Every now and then it almost feels like my body calls for a reset. If you look at probably one of the earliest videos I did, it was the Dr. CB Duck Flower Challenge. That was when I had the channel. This same channel used to be called Happy Healthy Healing, and I had a video where I was taking this duck flower, and it detoxes, and I'm not suggesting you do that. First of all, I would never do it again. Let me tell you right now. But my point in saying that is that was the last time I was really trying to. The whole reason I took it was to try to do a body reset. Every now and then, it seems like my body's just saying, "Look, you got too many toxins. You got too much weight. You got too much going on. It's time. It's time." And I'm feeling this time right now. I'm feeling the desire to do a water fast. I've done them before. I'm thinking of doing a 7-day water fast. I'm trying to get myself up for that. I think I'm gonna maybe do a little bit of keto first. I've done this before in order to kind of prepare you. It helps ease you into a fast. The keto, taking the carbs out and all that, so you don't have those spikes, and getting your body recognizing that you're not going to be having those insulin spikes and things of that nature. So I think keto will help me to be able to do the fast a little bit easier. So I'm thinking I may do a week of keto and then a week of water fasting. And so I'm not sure exactly time right now. I'm going in next week. I'm going to walk across the stage and get my master's degree. So I've got to actually fly down to Alabama, and so I'm gonna go down there. And after that, I think it's gonna be the right time to come back and restart, since I don't have a lot of other places to go. So I'm gonna let this video go. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe right here, Peppered ASMR. Listen, this is a channel where I do a lot of stuff. This is an ASMR based channel, but I take it a lot of different ways. And so if you like variety, you're gonna love it here. I do mainly role plays, but different type of role plays. Sometimes they're serious, dramatic. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're just somewhere in between. And then I do also videos in which, just like now, we're just talking, chatting it up, and chopping it up a little bit. And then sometimes I'm a big Eagles fan, so sometimes I'll do something sports related or Sixers related or something like that. But I just do a lot of variety, think a lot of different ways. I get bored. I told you I'd be all over the place, so I need variety. I need variety. I hate doing the same things over and over again. So that's just not me. I see some channels, and it seems like every video is just almost the same type of video over and over again. And I don't knock that. Hey, it works, and it works great. I actually kind of wish I could do it because I see how the algorithm really blesses somebody who does that. Okay, now I know it. I just can't do it. Know yourself. Know yourself. And so it might take me a little longer, but I got to be honest and be true to who I am. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna let you go here. This has really been a good chat, and I hope you gained something out of this. All right. God bless. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.